thing we have to fear is fear itself.
How many remember that the Great War, which has burned across our galaxy, consuming generations of humanity, began here in Earth's 26th and final century?
Greetings and welcome, my soldiers, to a new Let's Play. Welcome. Let's play Dark Reign 2. My apologies. Right. The sequel to Dark Reign, The Future of War, which is set in the past. So we can see the factions that we really didn't care all that much about. At least I didn't. I mean, I did. Once upon a time, I did read the Dark Reign 1 manual with the history section and all that. And sure, there is some backstory that sets up all this, all the Imperium and Freedom Guard stuff. But seeing as most of the game takes place in an era where there is Imperium and Freedom Guard, didn't really, you know or care much about this particular time period. But I figured, well, maybe they can make it work. Now, I am playing with the GOG version of Dark Reign 2. And as you may have noticed, while we do have sound, and the intro movie obviously played, there is no music. Because for some reason or another, music just simply doesn't want to play. We do have the music though, so we just hang on a moment. Real, isn't it? Have to play it through a separate player. Now I don't know what any of these tracks are called and if they're fit for whatever campaign we're playing, but you know, it's there, so let's get to the campaigns. Now, why would I want to play this game when I already previously slated that I didn't particularly like this? It is because I am kind of curious about how this game ends, because as it is, while I have played this game, I never actually finished it. On either side. This may have had a variety of reasons. I mean, I don't particularly remember when this game came out, but suffice to say, other things distracted me at the time. Alright, let's begin with the JDA, which I believe is Jovian Defense Authority. Not entirely sure why people from Jupiter are on Earth, but you know, let's not judge until we have seen it.
We'll set up a perimeter in Sector 5. All stations be advised that shoot-on-site directives have been issued for the following targets.
Roger, Signet, moving out. Devo, what's your sit, Dad, over?
We're down here taking heavy fire. Request backup at 8.
No problem. We'll have Hunter backed up against the rampart.
Increasing around the globe. We could be facing a major cataclysm. The Scientium is predicting an earthquake of unprecedented scale, 8.4, maybe 5. Advise it direct.
Strike Force, this is Signet Dispatch. Welcome to Angel Bay. Stay on this channel. We'll keep you updated on your latest directives and changes in our local tactical posture. Can't say that you've arrived at the cheeriest time. This is the third week of unrest in Sector 13 in Desa. The rumblers down there have been putting up a lot of resistance to our patrols that have been looking for hidden Sprawler anti-air towers. And now the command center itself is under attack. We're sending you in by shuttle to break them up and save that center. If our situation changes, we'll keep you informed. Signet out.
Roger, we should be inside of the command center in about 4 minutes.
We'll be dropping you boys on the far side of the base.
Signet, are you detecting any ground fire? Update my tactical readout to... Wait a minute, I'm getting... We've been hit by some kind. We're going down! Signet, this is Shuttle 8J out of Venice. We have crash landed in Strike Force team and need a full acquisition. Over. Do you copy?
Strike Force.
Communications uplink is reestablished.
Strike Force, good to hear you guys are still with us. Your position marker currently shows as Grid 37 in Desa Sector 13. Our threatened command center is to the northwest. The AA tower that shot you down should be right in front of you. Take out the tower and anyone guarding it. Signet out.
Alright, well.
Awaiting commands.
Let's get that going. Alright, so the first obvious difference. 3D engine. Also, occasionally the mouse just freaks out. I'm entirely sure what's causing that. We'll see. Alright, let's focus on what we need to do. Take out the tower. What is all the sprawlers? Alright, there we are.
Target identified. Attacking. Target identified.
I may need to turn down the audio for the digital sound.
Moving out.
Hopefully that
Enemy
works.
sighted.
Yep.
Target attacking.
Strike Force, they still need you at that command center. They're taking heavy fire. The center is located west of your current position. Get your team over there. Signet out.
En route.
Alright. I get the feeling this particular thing may be a bit disjointed because I'm pretty sure that during cutscenes, when it tries to be cinematic and all that, the music is supposed to be cut out.
En route.
I may have to turn it down for the next one, but I will not do that while I'm playing because that kind of disrupts the flow.
Roger that.
So yeah, we've gone from 2D sprites to 3D models. With the basic, well, as basic as you can come. I mean, it's fairly detailed models for the time period. Articulation is also not too bad, although it's not great. Overall, I find the models are a little stiff and moving.
Responding.
For instance, they are very strict about collision and all that, which causes a lot of bottlenecking to happen. Also, there's just something about the weapons that doesn't feel really punchy. Just feels like you're really not shooting with actual weapons, but rather just, you know, silly Nerf guns or something like that.
Strike Force, stand your ground and repel all attackers. You're all we've got out there. Signet out.
Yeah, sure, no problem. I mean, those guns could take down anything, so I'm not entirely sure why we're so worried about the incoming rumblers.
Ally under attack.
All stations, stand by.
Strike Force, we've experienced a massive seismic disruption. We're currently tracking activity all over the sprawl. The full extent of damage is not yet known. The quake did take out several main defensive stations. Your current position is highly vulnerable. You need to get that base rebuilt immediately. Signet out.
2 construction rigs survived the quake. We can use them to rebuild our base. Select 1 construction rig, and then select the command center from our build menu. Next, click on the location where you want the command center to be built. While the command center is being constructed, use the second rig to build a solar array. Rigs that construct small buildings are not consumed in production.
Yeah. Somehow the technology of this era seems more advanced than the technology in the Imperium Freedom Guard War era.
Construction complete.
And now I get that a Freedom Guard had to...
complete. We can use the same construction rig to build a precinct.
Alright.
Select the precinct from the build menu. The precinct can outfit new Guardians. Power online.
Oh, sure. The Freedom Guard had to be a bit scrappy with their technology.
Select the command center to view the building menu, and then select a construction rig.
But they still had laser weapons and heavy hover vehicles, which we also have right now, which, you know, why was that such a difficult thing then?
Select your new construction rig and use it to build a motor pool. The motor pool can equip more rovers.
In transit. Ready to roll.
Strike Force, we're seeing a wave of rumblers moving out across the sprawl. Several groups appear to be converging on your position. Until you get your forces built up, you are still vulnerable. You're gonna need more men, more equipment, and a lot more Talon. Signet out.
Our collector is currently idle. Select it and send it to the nearest deposit of Talon.
Where to?
Alright.
Moving.
And let's build another collector.
Building.
Ready to roll. Yes, sir.
Yeah, Talon. The mysterious resource that we've seen.
Good job down there, Strike Force. You've gotten that base back online and stabilized your position. Now Central Command is determined we need a show of force to pacify the sector and take out that Sprawler strike base. They want to begin sending in airstrikes, but first we need you to clear out any remaining anti-air sites. We're picking up 3 additional targets in your zone. As soon as you can take them out, we'll send in your strikes. Signet out.
We need to build up our forces before making our attack.
Yes.
Select the precinct and the motor pool to view build menus for troops and vehicles.
You done? What was I saying? Yeah, the Talon. The mysterious resource that we had in Dark Rain that you used to upgrade your power stations. For some reason it's now the main resource you use to in reinforce and all that. And for some reason it seems to be spawned out of lava pits. Yeah, I'm not entirely sure what's up with that. I guess they just couldn't think of something better. Still feels kinda cheap though. I think it's also not a particularly fun mechanic because these Talon deposits will run out. Now the game does tease with the potential of there maybe being some renewable Talon, but I've never gotten far enough into the game that I have actually seen that. So it is quite possible to, you know, get royally screwed over by running out of resources.
Construction complete.
Alright, let's get you out of there.
Construction complete.
We don't need the force field.
Yes, sir.
Alright, let's set a rally point over here. And over here. Alright.
Building.
Get some of each.
Building.
But yeah, there does seem to be a weird discrepancy with how technology seemingly works. In comparison to Dark Reign. Like, it's not specifically said at the start, but you can pretty much, I mean, presumably by the ending you get the reveal that the JDA becomes the Imperium and the Sprawlers are somehow linked to the Freedom Guard. Sure, don't see that personally myself. But yeah, no, doesn't really connect for me. Not based on the units that you get to play with in this particular game. There doesn't seem to be any real connective tissue. There's no real like, for instance, none of these buildings here look really like any of the buildings that the Imperium will use. Now, obviously, some things changed, but you'd see something familiar in the architecture. But for the most part, I find these buildings a little bit boring because they are so very similar. I mean, they all have this strange-looking ramp thing. In fact, there's very little difference between the precinct and the motor pool, even though they're completely separate buildings. So often on the map, you still keep having to look for the building that you need. Now, of course, they are also listed in the bar below here, if I can get the mouse to actually cooperate with me. Yeah, the game keeps fighting me for control, so it's a little bit annoying. Alright, let's move out.
Powering up. Coordinates received.
En route. Enemy sighted. Attacking. Enemy sighted.
But for the most part, I don't think this game is really doing its presentation any real favors. Like, for instance, the intro cinematic. Just for a basic premise. Right, we get that the Earth is being destroyed by humanity's doing, apparently. But we get no introduction to the main factions. I mean, granted, there is a little bit of flash and circumstance in the Dark Reign Future of War cinematic because of the fighting over the orbital array. But you still get to see two different sides fighting it out. So you get an idea of kind of how they work. And you also see that the Imperium is obviously in control. I have no idea what the difference is between the JDA and Sprawlers. Outside of the context the game has already given me, that the JDA considers itself to be order on this planet. But anyways, that's probably enough of me ranting for now. We'll continue that in the next episode. Thank you all for watching. See you then.